show, kind of, although it's a reschedule, so you guys already knew about it. Highlander, 1986, Christopher Lambert, Sean Connery, Clancy Brown. There can be only one. I'm Ross MacLeod. He's Gaz MacLeod, a.k.a. Jack Death. Go subscribe to @Mosh Shinobi. I'm going to do housekeeping super quick, guys. I'm just going to rip through it real fast because you guys know what the drops are by now. But in the spirit of PXF not charging you guys like every other YouTube channel, Camera X out now on Tubi, free. Go watch it. Go watch list it. Go like it for us. That helps in the rankings. Skate to Hell. Yeah. DVD is out now. Go join that group on Facebook. Sean and Nicole are posting everywhere you can get it. So I believe it's definitely on Amazon, definitely on Prime. I think Amazon UK for everybody out in Gaz's continent. And then they do have another website where if you need to order it, I think internationally, things of that nature. Anyway, Sean C. Phillips, go follow him on socials, YouTube, Cool Duder, and you'll find all the places to get that handled. But one more time, PXF certified. Go get that. Obviously, Desert Fiends 1's Desert Fiends 2. The thing expanded. I think there's 8 days left. So go get that handled. I think they're still having opportunities to get your name in the credits along with Kurt Russell, John Carpenter, Keith David. The definitive documentary on the thing. Shout out to Ian and everybody at Creator VC. And as I said last time, go subscribe to their channel as well. They do I don't know if it's monthly or whatever, guys, when they do their show, the Thing Cast, but they always bring up someone from either we were talking about last time, the film, the concept art, the poster art, even the novella, even the film before the Thing, which is the Thing from Another World. They always have someone that is involved in the Thing concept. And really interesting to talk to special effects people from that cast. Yeah. Obviously the dudes that did the practical effects. I mean, that's the big deal about the Thing, right? That's why everybody loves it so much, because it doesn't have the fruity CGI that you have in modern movies. So that's it. Those are the drops, guys. Go check those out. Really quick update. Shout out to Lou Temple. Go follow him at Lou Temple Actor on socials. I believe his website is the Texican.com or Texican.com or something, or maybe it's LouTemple.com. I don't remember. Google it. Shout out to him, friend of Drew Beeson, friend of the channel, both friends of the channel actually, so you can check out Lou's interview in the PXF film series along with Lauren Lepre and John Philbin. So I got to rock with him. You can obviously check out my socials, Ross G PXF on Instagram, and you can see I got some flicks with Lou, and he signed a couple things for me. So I was at SD Rocket Con on Saturday, as Gaz knows, so we're just ripped through a couple things I got. Conan the Barbarian, that is Battle of the Blackstone, and that is certified authentic from Stuart Sager, the cover artist, and that's right in time for the Conan 3 King Conan announcement. Gaz and I are Conan fanboys, so if you want us to review Conan the Destroyer, just leave that in the comments or in the chats. Some stuff that Lou signed for me. So I was really close to between the still of Otis choking out Lou on the ground and killing him, because that's my favorite scene in the movie, or this, which is supposedly limited edition lithograph from Lionsgate, and Lou said basically these aren't even out yet, nobody has them. So I chose this one, and he wrote a quote on there, but that's actually the scene of Otis killing Banjo, who is Lou. So I'm all right, this is the best of both worlds, and then he wrote a Adam Banjo quote on there for me with the guitar. Because they're band guys. crazy guys. And then he did sign a couple of my hard copies, so you guys that enjoy hard copy media. So anyway, it comes in a sleeve that looks like that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. So you pop that in there, and it goes right over it, and then you pop that out, and then you get I love how this is that old picture of the farmers. Guys, that's obviously the and then it basically has all the characters on the back. So Sheriff Wydell, Tiny,
sick. Yeah.
The chick that when Lou got his face ripped off, when Banjo, the chick that has face, and then that dude is from original Dawn of the Dead, and then Banjo and Sullivan were there at the bottom. So Lou signed that for me as well. I hopefully that doesn't rub off because it's the back, but you know what I mean? Basically never opened this steelbook, guys. And then, there is some crazy concept art in there and stuff. I'll let you guys figure that out.
That's cool.
And then he signed, can't really see it as well. I'll see if I can pop it out for you guys. He signed that disc in the He signed that disc in the back there. So
nice.
Shout out to Lou Temple. Go follow him. Cool ass dude. Adam Banjo. Obviously Axel from The Walking Dead. Obviously from Halloween. Even did some voice work on Killzone and a few other games, guys.
Sweet.
Killzone too. So cool motherfucking dude. Yeah, go check out the interview with Lou on PXF. And without further ado, we're back on Highlander. So go ahead and pick this up. That's the 4K director's cut. And then this is, it's not a steelbook, but it is a 4K Ultra Disc. So not quite as epic. They do have a little bit of concept art in there, Gazi. Looks like they may have forgot my digital copy. So I don't really know what the angle is there, but me and Gaz will do some discovery and try to figure that out. I guess I gotta shoot it. Yeah, the quickening is sick, dude. All right, so pop that down there. Go get your hard copies ordered, guys. A little bit of rundown of what they got in there. The digital copy, the 4K Ultra. I think the Blu-ray and the special features are on both. So, and you know how back in the day, guys, it used to have the DVD and then you could like copy the digital off, but now that they don't have DVDs anymore, I don't think that's a thing. So anyway, a little glitch on mine, but if you buy it, hopefully that doesn't happen to you. Without further ado, feel free to give us your shouts in the chat. Feel free to give us any recos in the live chat or in the comments below. And next week, Gaz and I have the Vanishing Point, and that's going to be Zodiac Goes to the Movies. We'll talk about Zodiac Ciphers and whatever Grinnell says about the Vanishing poster, the Vanishing Point poster relating to the Zodiac letters, and then The Hunted, another PXF classic of Gaz and mine. So we will go straight into Highlander is a 1986 fantasy action-adventure film and the first installment in the Highlander franchise. It follows Conor MacLeod, a Scottish Highlander who discovers he is immortal and after centuries of clandestine duels confronts his ultimate rival in contemporary New York. It stars Christopher Lambert as MacLeod. It also features Roxanne Hart, Clancy Brown, Sean Connery. Is directed by Russell Mulcahy from a screenplay by Gregory Wyden, Peter Bellwood, and Larry Ferguson. I'm just going to scroll down real quick, guys, because I wanted to see if it has anything about the extended universe.
Yeah.
I do know some of that, obviously, things that we've spoken about, but there's something I was wondering about. Maybe you know. Here's the reboot here at the end. We'll talk about that at the end. There's the animated series.
Yeah, the one. Yeah, that. Yeah, because wasn't it? I think there's a animated series features the descendant of Conor MacLeod, and it's set in the future.
I watched one of the animes, but it wasn't Conor. It was a different MacLeod. I think it was Ancestor. I think it was like a medieval.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A descendant of Conor.
Yeah. So I don't think that was a series though. I think that was like a one-off that I watched.
A one-off, yeah.
What I was wondering is, was there a video game? Because how sick would it be to do the Immortal duels and then decapitate him and get the supercharge from the quickening? Like, how have they missed that? Yeah. How have they missed that? Obviously, the IP hasn't sold out to a video game company yet.
Yeah. I think the animated movie Highlander: The Search for Vengeance. I think that's the one I saw. Yeah, Colin. Yeah, the same. Don't think it was too bad from what I remember.
No, it was pretty good. I liked it. And I want to say some of that animated Castlevania stuff wasn't too bad either. Before they,
that was it. Colin MacLeod, descendant of Conor.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I thought he was a cool character. I mean, Yeah, I mean, and given Lambert's still around, maybe he could, like, if they were to do a video game route, he could do the voice or something, Be a little bit tough to get Ramirez, but we'll figure that out. Obviously, Clancy is still around, so if they needed his voice for the Kurgan, or animated treatment, All right, so Highlander was a commercial failure on its initial theatrical release, grossing only a little less than $13 million worldwide against a production budget of $19 million. While receiving mixed reviews, nevertheless, it became a cult film and inspired several film sequels and television spin-offs. British rock band Queen recorded several songs for the film soundtrack, and those songs also appeared on their 86 studio album, A Kind of Magic. Another Queen song, Hammer to Fall, is also used in the film, although it was recorded from the band's previous studio album, The Works. One of the songs from A Kind of Magic, Princes of the Universe, was also used for the title sequence of the television series. The tagline, "There Can Be Only One," has carried into pop culture. Yeah, we're definitely going to break down some more of that soundtrack stuff too, guys, but we can rip right into plot. 85 New York, Conor MacLeod encounters an old enemy, Iman Fasil, in the parking garage of Madison Square Garden. After a sword duel, Conor beheads Fasil and absorbs a powerful release of energy from his body, then hides his sword in the garage's ceiling. NYPD officers detain him on suspicion of murder, but lack evidence to hold him. Like, they just didn't have a metal detector, guys. They couldn't find that sword in the ceiling. So only one guy.
I just nearly choked then.
And I think that was a Porsche that he was driving, wasn't it? Or it was something nice, you know what I mean? So it's like he fucking comes peeling out in the drop top, and it's just like, hey, this guy's speeding out. It definitely wasn't him, you know. But actually, we're going to get to that prison scene, which is even interrogation scene.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which is unconventional. And you could take it further. There's only one person thought to look above. Only one. No. So, I mean,
the reporter. She's not even an investigator, but but how that interrogation plays out is probably one of the funniest things in the film. But I thought it worked. I mean, I've seen this movie many times. This was the 4K director's cut that I watched. I like how it starts him off in present day, because it could have just started him off in the Highlands, the ancient Scottish Highlands. Like, this is the beginning of the story. But I like how they reverse backed into it. You know what I mean? That was kind of cool. Conor's history is revealed through a series of flashbacks in the Scottish Highlands. In 1536, Conor fights against the rival Fraser clan as a warrior of the MacLeod clan. The Frasers are aided by an Outlander knight in exchange for his right to slay Conor in battle. The knight fatally stabs Conor, but is driven off by his clansmen. After Conor makes a complete recovery, his lover Kate and his cousin Dougal accuse him of witchcraft. The clan wishes to kill him, but his other cousin, Chieftain Angus, mercifully exiles him. Conor quietly settles into a new life as a blacksmith and marries a woman named Heather McDonald. I mean, I thought everything was working at that point, guys. I really like how they didn't know how to deal with his immortality. He was supposed to die from the fatal wound, but he kind of woke up that next day. He came out to the beer hall and was trying to chug beers, let's party. And everybody was they did turn on him pretty fast, but in an ancient mind state, that's more likely to happen than hey, he recovered from having that sword through his abdomen, let's party. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you even had a slightly different accent from wherever, you could have been viewed as some, a stranger with mysterious powers. If you bet, how they would have spread folk tales, and if you best would say their best warrior, rather than say admitting defeat at that time. Oh no, he used supernatural, whatever. So no, I think it's right. That would have happened very quickly. And shout out to James Cosmo, who plays Angus MacLeod, very well-known actor over here. He does a good job as well.
Yep, absolutely. I'll one thing that I missed real quick, guys. I'm just going to pull up IMDb. Okay, 86. So, an immortal Scottish swordsman must confront the last of his immortal opponents, a murderously brutal barbarian who lusts for the fabled prize. Genres: dark fantasy, fantasy epic, one-person army action, supernatural fantasy, swashbuckler action, adventure fantasy. I mean, the one-person army action, he doesn't really the way the duels are. He really only fights one guy at a time, so it's it's not, you know what I mean. There's a little bit more of a mix-up here and there, but it's not really he's going against crowds,
Yeah, and I'm remembering this correctly. It's so long since I've seen it. Highlander 2, the sequel, which a lot of people talk about, the quickening, which kind of has Blade Runner-esque elements in. Guy who confronts, I think, Conor in the alleyway or something in 2. Does he have 2 henchmen with him? Because I'm just thinking, is that the only time we kind of see Conor dueling more than one opponent?
Fight more than one opponent.
Yeah.
Probably. I haven't seen, I've seen the quickening a couple times. I think the last time I saw it might have been with Mac when he was out in Boston with me.
Yeah.
So it's been a long while for me.
Same. Yeah.
I'll rewatch it though. I've heard there's different versions, right? I think I've heard the director's cut cleans up some of that stuff that people don't like. So we'll have to. Yeah, I mean, hey, whatever. Do you guys want us to rock with the Highlander franchise? Pop it in the
We'll
chat.
go through them all.
Drop it. Yeah, as far as we can survive.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know about them all because once we get past Endgame, it gets me and Mac have roasted that post-apocalyptic Adrian Paul one, the Sci-Fi Channel one. That one is dog dookie.
I haven't seen that one. Is it direct one on Adrian Paul? I mean,
you of all people would be number one on your list because that tea kettle head villain that he fights at the end, me and Mac roasted that guy. The CGI is so bad, bro.
Oh man.
It's basically that one immortal who has like killed everybody, so he's like absorbed all the quickening power, and it's like a post-apocalyptic. It's almost like Wicker Man, it's like a post-apocalyptic. Like it's not like any of the other Highlanders. Like
because Duncan MacLeod, I feel it's quite and he's a decent character as well.
Super strong character. Okay, Endgame when it has them both, that one is absolutely dope.
Yeah, that was cool. Dope. Both of them.
The problem is they brought Duncan back for a post-apocalyptic solo after that, and it's complete shite. Like it's the worst.
I haven't seen that one.
It's homework for Gaz. I definitely want to get his review on it. Possibly a roast for the channel. It's literally we might have to bring Mac back. Might have to bring Mac back for it because Mac knows how much I hate that movie. Now, on paper, when you hear like post-apocalyptic Highlander, you're like, oh my god, that's going to be awesome. Two awesome concepts. But when it's done with a Sci-Fi Channel budget, side note, guys, nothing to do with Highlander 1. Worst movie I've ever seen. So
this should give me an idea of what we're expecting. How bad is it? Worse than a movie that I used to troll Mac with. I need to do that again soon as well.
Yeah.
Is it worse than the Purple Man movie? What Are You Doing in My Realm? Worse than that?
In my opinion, it makes the Reptilian "What Are You Doing in My Realm" movie look like Blade Runner. You know what I mean? So, like wow. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, man, wow. it's really like you. And this is coming from the guy who watched all the Hellraiser sequels. Like how far down the shite vortex I've been. So, believe me, Mac knows exactly what I'm talking about, and that is like it doesn't even belong. It's so far away from what the rest of the Highlanders are that it just like, they should have just stopped at Endgame because the way Endgame ends, that's like Duncan's final story arc. To try to bring him back with like a short haircut in the mid-2000s on Sci-Fi Channel just didn't work. Anyway, me and Gaz, I'll inform Gaz on that at another point, but we'll go back to Highlander 1. So, Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez, a wandering swordsman, seeks out Conor. He explains that they and others like them are immortals. They possess a sixth sense known as the quickening and can be killed only by beheading. Each immortal must be ready to do battle with others, save on holy ground. Ramirez trains Conor in sword fighting, and the two become friends. He tells Conor that as the number of immortals wanes, they will gather in a distant land for a final confrontation. Until only one remains, with the combined quickening of all. Immortals cannot conceive children, and Ramirez urges Conor to leave Heather so that he will be unburdened in the fight ahead. The knight that he encountered, the Kurgan, is a powerful and vicious immortal who would subject humanity to an eternity of darkness. So yeah, everything's working good so far. Aesthetic of the Kurgan, he fights him in that first ancient battle, obviously the black armor, the skull helmet, very Conan the Barbarian-esque.
Oh, very much so, yeah.
So liking all of that so far. That final kind of little tower that they fight in, the blacksmith tower that Conor's living in, pretty sick. Some of the CGI gets a little wonky with the lightning bolts, but overall I still like the look of the location and the Highlands and all that. Obviously, Ramirez character very strong. I really like the montage of him training Conor in the ways of the immortal. I think he throws him on the stones and drops him to the bottom of the lake or whatever. Conor
he does bottom of the lock. Yeah.
Drops him in the lock. More background of Ramirez immortality, like he's dressed like a Renaissance dude from Spain, right? So that's like the last probably era that
he's kind of calls him a Spanish peacock.
And he's like, I thought you said you were Spanish. He's like, oh, I'm Egyptian. And Sean Connery trying to do a Spanish accent, maybe some Spanish words didn't quite work, but Hey,
Well,
it's a sci-fi grindhouse movie.
If you're gonna, to be honest, man, if you're gonna look for authentic accents in this film, this isn't it. The accents are, to be honest, are terrible. They really are.
Yeah,
as someone who's very, very close to that part of the world, it's like I'm like, no.
It's like the French dude. The French dude. Then Connery doing Spanish, and then like Lambert in New York. You know, it's everything.
The Scottish accents are appalling, bro. To be honest,
insane. Such a classic, though. So good.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
And then finally, they're up on those stone peaks, doing the sword duels. Really good, like kind of 360 angles of panning and rotating, and then obviously Conor getting better. He disarms Ramirez, as Ramirez has taught him the sword techniques and stuff. Fighting in the woods and stuff like that. We can talk some filming locations. I think they did shoot out there somewhere, guys, at points. So we'll get that in the mix as well. Yeah. Back to the plot. One night, while Conor is away, the Kurgan finds his home and duels Ramirez before decapitating him. Conor ignores his advice and chooses to stay with Heather, only to watch helplessly as she grows old and dies. Heartbroken and embittered, Conor spends the next few centuries wandering the earth and adopts Ramirez's katana as his own. Oh yeah, that's another big thing too. Ramirez uses a Japanese, like a one-of-a-kind Japanese steel katana that was welded, whatever the word is, cast for him when he was in Japan.
Yeah, supposedly as revealed by some other characters long before they were able to do that, which puts more interesting light on the backstory behind the Immortals.
Yeah, the metallurgy, because the reporter basically samples the chunks found in the wall when Conor decapitated that other dude. But by the way, I know we glossed over it, guys, but that fight when they're like running across the cars and all that stuff in the Madison Square Garage, like, I get it's mid '80s, so like, you know, what up, Pixie? Security cameras and such aren't like popping off yet, but like, dude,
there's no one around, is there?
None of those people are like, the biggest venue in America, and dudes are none of the gangsters came out. I was like, these dudes are running across my car sword fighting. But anyway, it's still an awesome scene. It's still an awesome fight, but you have to. It is an eject your brain grindhouse film.
This is definitely it, because I think it was. They're made by the Cannon Group as well, that did, the American Ninja movies, and they are very much the same. Eject your brain. It's just very entertaining, and they have a cult-like status as well, just like Highlander. If you are expecting to see like the best thing, there is some really good performances still in the film, especially from Clancy Brown, who I think is the standout. But it's pure entertainment, and you've got that interesting backstory with the Immortals that we were saying, and then the expanded universe that happened as a result of this film. So it's still very enjoyable.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this origin is really it does kind of wane after this, because 2 and 3 kind of lose some of the intensity that this had with
with someone with your favorite actor of all time, isn't it? Mario Van Peebles in 3. That's right.
It's actually Mac's favorite, but close second for me. Close second.
Posse's one of his favorite ever movies as well.
Yeah, I'm willing to set Marlon Brando, Robert De Niro, and Al Pacino aside for for Mario Van Peebles any day. No big deal for me. I'm a grindhouse guy. Okay. So the Ramirez fight. I expected a little bit more from Ramirez, because he was training Conor for so long. He does have some decent sword strikes going up the stairs, backing up, and some good swings. He actually wounds the Kurgan that throat slice. Right? So, and that's why he has the stitches across his throat in modern New York. So I guess he does get him, but just not close enough to mortally wound him. Then obviously,
I think overpowers him. I think I'm like you with learning that Ramirez was an Egyptian, so he's been around a long time, will have been used to close quarters combat and sword fighting, and learned those various styles. I can see where you're going with that. Kurgan is an interesting story. This is why, we'll talk about this later, but I'm curious to see what they do with the remake. I think he's supposed to be some warrior from the Eastern Steppes or something, I think. Some kind of... So that could be cool.
You mean in general, or that's what Kurgan will be in the new one?
No, I think that is his backstory. I think.
Okay, so they might keep it the same. Yeah, I think I read something about him, but like Visigoths or something like that. I forgot.
Yeah, he supposedly was born in the Caspian Sea. Yeah, so that's quite interesting. So see where they go with that. Especially Dave Bautista is going to be playing him in the reboot.
Yeah, I was telling guys about that. Yeah, we'll definitely talk some of that at the end here.
Sorry, Ross, I'm getting us off track a little.
No, it's all good, dude. Hey, dude, I can talk Chad Stahelski universe all day. Don't get me going on John Wick in the middle of the Highlander review. So Connor takes Ramirez's katana. Dude, one thing about his museum New York flat that he lives in, which like is obviously a super nice place that probably costs like $15 million to live in now if it's right outside of Central Park or whatever. But dude, he just has like those 10 books on the shelf, like no TV. There's like nothing in there. Do you notice that? Like, dude, he just sharpens his like katana all day. Like, other than collecting, one of a kind artifacts, what's this guy do all day? There's like nothing in his house.
Well, we literally must take his time in cleaning the artifacts, polishing them. So
for sure, meditating and sharpening the katana. Not much else freaking going on there. Cleanest apartment I've ever seen. So back to 1985 New York. The gathering approaches, and the Kurgan comes to New York, where Connor deals antiques under the alias Russell Nash, assisted by his confidant and adopted daughter Rachel Ellestein. Brenda Wyatt, a metallurgy expert working for the bloke. I thought she was like a journalist, but I forgot she wrote that book. A metallurgy expert working for the police as a forensic scientist finds shards of Connor's sword at Fasil's death scene and is puzzled that the sword's smithing techniques do not match the age of the blade. She follows Connor for clues and witnesses the Kurgan attacking him. The police arrive, forcing them to flee. She meets with Connor twice afterward, hoping to learn about the paradoxical sword. Connor likes her, but tells her to leave him alone. We glossed over after he got arrested. They brought him to the station for interrogation.
The interrogation room.
The cops tried to jump him. He started punching guys, and there was all those windows. And everyone saw it. And they were cheering when he was punching. Imagine that happening now with the gay. Some some artifact collector just starts beating down cops in the interrogation room, and everyone's like, "Yeah, get him, Nash!"
Yeah. You probably get 20 cops on you now as well.
You get 100 out here right now. You get 100. Damn, dude, our viewers just jumped. You guys are effing with Highlander heavy. What up, Mr. B? Everybody go check out Rodelli on Mr. B's channel.
I think that interrogation scene, Ross, is probably... There's one scene I feel outdoes it for comedy as we'll get there, and it's in one of the flashbacks to... I think it's the 1800s. Well, you'll just be mentioning that. You should know what it is.
I'm trying.
The pistol.
I know the 40s. I know the 40s one. I love the 40s one.
Yeah. Well, man, is that pistol duel, man? It's so camp. The way the little butler guy runs off.
No, well, there's some cool one because that girl he saved.
Shoot him in the head.
So good. That's not. I don't think that's 1880s. I think isn't the girl he saves a Jewish girl? I think that's 1940s. I think that's 1940s.
Yeah, that was.
That's a different one.
Yeah, that was. I think it's on the 1700s. It's literally just after the revolution. I think where the two boss gents have the gentlemanly duel, and he keeps stabbing him with the sword, and Connor keeps getting up, and then there's the butler guy who's the assistant at one of the boss gents hands him the dueling pistols, and he says that posh like, shoot him in the head, shoot him in the head.
Yeah, no, those flashbacks are awesome. Yeah, that one you're referring to is ridiculous, but those flashbacks are awesome. Yeah, no, insane. The films, that's the grindhouse elements. It almost comes to Kurosawa. Is this dark comedy movie? Because this movie's extreme ultra-violent R, but yet there's moments like that where you're this has got to be a joke,
and I'm remembering them all now. Kurgan in the car with the Nana as well.
Yeah,
that was awesome. For ride that's another hilarious scene. Right, sorry, folks.
He was bumping Queen. Yeah, Kurgan is he's a punk rock metal dude when he comes to New York. So he's got the spike necklace and he's just a beast. But I do want to go to when they're all coming to New York for the gathering. he meets up with that other dude who he knows is immortal. A little bit of world building with the other immortals that Conor encounters.
Was that I think the actor Hugh? I'm sorry when I butcher your name, Hugh Quarishi, and they're talking on the bridge, aren't they? And I think that's when Conor reveals that he hasn't seen him for, I think, a century. That was a good scene.
Holy crap, dude! John Polito, who is our boy from the Crow pawn shop, Detective who's our boy from Miller's Crossing, is Detective Walter Bedso, dude. And then you're right. Yeah, that's definitely Hugh Quarishi. Yeah, he played Sunda Castagir. So that was cool. I mean, I wish I would have seen more of like those other immortals. I think that's something that they should have built on, and instead of just like having Conor like solo all the time. I know they do at the beginning, but it obviously the Kurgan's against them. So
that's what's cool in hopefully, because we both haven't seen the series for so long, the series before the Raven, I believe. When there's various immortals popping up, and I think they do flashbacks to various times in history, and that's quite cool because I like that, seeing these different immortals, Ross learning how they came to the powers, where they were. Super interesting.
I know they showed a lot of that or some of that in Endgame, which was sick when Conor and Duncan were together. So we definitely are both going to revisit the series when we get a chance.
For
sure. So basically, Kurgan kills Castagir in that alleyway, right? I think he fights two immortals, so it's like Kurgan versus two other dudes. I think he kills them both.
This is a scene just before. Is this a scene just before, as I said, Kurgan gets in the car with the Nana, or is that later on?
It's at the end, because when the cops pull up, he jumps in the car.
Yeah.
I think he throws the husband out or something.
Yeah, is this where he encounters the survival guy as well? They were on
yes,
he's pretty funny.
That is okay. So talk about a random concept. That this was like Death Wish era because they just wanted to throw a freaking vigilante, and I had totally forgotten about that scene. So this is my neck of the woods, guys. So freaking vigilante man comes ripping out of his apartment or hotel or wherever he is with like the freaking branded T-shirt, and freaking Uzi, trying to be like the Punisher, and he's like, oh my god, it's so nuts. So sorry, Eddie, I mean, we're doing a little spoilers, bud, but if you haven't seen the movie for 86, you're a little bit late.
You get used to it. It regularly happens.
Spoiler alert. If we do a movie that's over 30 years old, we might do some spoilers. So vigilante man runs in with the Uzi, and he's like, okay, he's like, we'll call him pseudo discount Punisher and a bootleg Punisher. He runs into the Uzi. He's ripping between the alleyways, like, okay, it's go time. Go. He sees the Kurgan like just completely he sees him do a quickening, right? Absorb that guy's power.
Oh, he's like, sick though.
What the hell's going on? It was an absolutely dope scene. He's like, what the hell's going on here? He dumps a Uzi clip into the Kurgan's chest, who obviously doesn't die because he didn't cut his head off. And then when Kurgan gets back up, I think he impales him and then like throws him against the wall and he bleeds out. So friggin' that whole scene is awesome.
I like the way it was shot as well. It was pretty cool. How they showed you first Kurgan absorbing the powers, and then you got the survival note, and he's doing like his DIY commentary to himself as well.
What the hell's going on here? And then the funniest part about it is like that crowd amounts at the end, and they're all watching, and then like the cops start pulling up, and Kurgan steals that car. But definitely having the Kurgan from ancient times and having him go into present day is one of the best things about this movie. But there's some absolutely insane elements. And then I can't remember when Conor encountered the Kurgan, because Kurgan follows Conor or whatever, and they have that fight too when the forensic scientist sees him. And then she tried to follow Conor, but he knew she was following her or whatever. So here it is. The Kurgan duels and beheads Sundar Castagir, another immortal. A witness to the fight gives the NYPD a description of him. Brenda investigates Conor and finds evidence that he has lived for centuries. On Heather's birthday, Conor lights a candle for her in a church, as he has done every year. The Kurgan arrives and confirms that he and Conor are now the last remaining immortals, and also reveals he R-worded Heather after killing Ramirez. Disgusted but prohibited from fighting on holy ground, Conor leaves. So this is when Kurgan was like yelling in the priest and the nun's face and stuff.
This is quite a good scene, folks, because it shows you how maniacal and evil the Kurgan is, but how he's playing with Connor as well, getting in his head. I guess his disregard for established institutions. He's purposely being obnoxious and loud, doesn't care. People are feeling uncomfortable. I do like, as you said, Ross, his kind of like punk metal kind of no rules kind of character. And he's got that presence. Clancy Brown, as I said earlier, definitely one of the standouts in the film. This is a really good exchange. Just the way Kurgan as well is like, yeah, I know it's holy ground, we can't fight, but I'm not going to show respect. If I could find a way, I would fight here. You know, that really.
I was wondering why he didn't why Kurgan is abiding to that rule, because he's obviously like a psycho and doesn't care. So it's like, if you're the last two immortals, why does Kurgan care about that? You know what I mean?
It's a quick question, maybe somebody knows. And again, our disclaimer, we haven't seen the expanded universe in so long. I'm trying to remember, is it ever explained in the series or any of the sequels on why they can't fight on holy ground?
Only what Ramirez told Conor in the beginning. I don't know about the series, but in this movie, only what Ramirez told Conor in the beginning was like, it's respect. My impression was that like some of the immortals are buried there. Obviously, the immortals aren't buried, but if they get decapitated, they are, right? So I was thinking it was like the ceremonial burial of whatever. Yeah. That was my guess. Maybe if somebody knows Highlander lore better than us, please expound. Not 100% on that one. So they fought. Also Kurgan's aesthetic, like the wardrobe on him, he's got like the paper clips through his neck scar, and after he cut his hair, so he was like he shaved it down to bald, and he was like, I'm in disguise.
He's got those like Mad Max vibes as well when he's driving around in a car, you know, listening to his hard rock and his metal. He's definitely he wouldn't be out of place in a Mad Max movie for sure.
No, he was definitely a sick. So on the Queen songs, obviously, like Princes of the Universe is the most epic theme of all time. But if you've watched the Minty on this, Gaz, you probably know this. But the rendition of New York, New York by Queen, which is a Frank Sinatra song. I think I told you this before, but Freddie Mercury thought that was like the worst thing ever, and it was trash. So even though it's on the score of the film, he made sure that was never released as like a hard copy single, or so that's not available anywhere. To my maybe way after Freddie passed or whatever, they might have tried to re-release it, but to my knowledge, during his lifetime, he never wanted that song released because like the studio made him do it. He's like, why the hell is Queen covering Frank Sinatra? Like that's not even like close to style wise, you know. So kind of hilarious. I didn't think it was that bad on the score, but apparently Freddie Mercury hated it, which I get. Sinatra's gold.
Yeah, and it actually serves in. What's good about this score is the music definitely supports the story. It goes with the characters, with the mythos as well. So that's what I think is the strength in that regard. And when we get to some of the people they were going to cast originally for the Kurgan layer, that's super interesting. I mean, there's one who I think would have been epic. Two actually. And then the third person who we're looking at, you're thinking, wow, really?
That's my favorite part about Minty, when he tells you like these characters that you're like stuck on. It's like some actor that's like nowhere near, and you're like, I don't even know how that would look. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, it's really hard to say unless you can see it come together. But you know, I can't. I'm interested to see that remake one, like Gaz said, because even though I love Batista, right? He's the man, but it's probably Clancy Brown's career performance, like Gaz was saying. So it's going to be so hard not to compare them and not being like that OG Kurgan, you know? Brenda, so getting near the end here, lads. Brenda confronts Connor, who explains his true identity. After spending the night together, they part company, but Kurgan finds out about their newfound intimacy and kidnaps Brenda to draw Connor out. Connor decides to leave behind the Russell Nash identity, says goodbye to Rachel, and confronts the Kurgan at Silver Cup Studios in Queens, rescuing Brenda in the process. After a long duel, Connor outfights and decapitates the Kurgan, absorbing his power. Connor returns to Scotland with Brenda and reveals that he is now a mortal man who can age and have children. He is also able to read the thoughts and feelings of people all around the world. And remembering Ramirez's lessons, he hopes to encourage cooperation, understanding, and peace among humanity. It's a little bit of a weird ending, but that final duel scene with the big electric sign letters falling, and then obviously the water tower coming down, and them fighting in the water. So that one part, guys, I'm just gonna highlight this moment where Connor like dunks under the water, and then the Kurgan like pops up behind him. Like that was obviously like Willard in Apocalypse Now when he came out with the need to kill Kurgan. Like he held his breath for mad long. I'm like, obviously, bro, he's just hiding in the water, but it's like one of those grindhouse like moments. Anyway, the duel is awesome. That whole rooftop fight, incredible, epic, and then obviously when they fall through, they roll into the skylight window. And then they land in the empty warehouse. I mean, that warehouse fight in the shadows is the most infamous Highlander scene of all time. So I love the whole fight. Anything stood out to you during those sequences?
Just the same. The lighting, the shadows, the sparks as well that are flying. And for me, there's something special about when the quickening happens as well. Just love the way that, and that's what I'll be curious to see how you think they could. With the reboot, they should be able to show that even more epic. The effects technology. That's going to look sick, man.
100%. The quickening process will be so. I'm watching this director's cut. Did you watch the director's cut as well, or did you watch it?
Yeah.
Okay, you saw when Connor got Kurgan's quickening, you saw those skeleton spirits. Because I'm not sure if that's in the theatrical. I think that might only be in the director's cut.
I think it's only in the director's cut, and that's supposed to be like the other Immortals that he's have been obviously absorbed their power and trapped within him.
Yep. Freaking awesome. One of the most iconic grindhouse endings of all time. Everybody knows about this movie. Everybody knows. Most people know about the.
You could, Ross, and I'm going to go there, and it'd be interesting. This could just be a coincidence. So, Blade 1, which we reviewed, another PXF classic. I'm going Deacon Frost, where
the skeletons flying around
and the skeletons flying around.
Ritual.
Definitely 100%. Reminiscent of that. Yeah.
Well, David S. Goyer, I feel like he would know about that kind of stuff because he's written so much stuff. Like he really knows comics well, and I think I think he would be tapped in on that. You know what I mean? I got to do something really quick, Gaz. If you want to just run some shouts real quick and just hold it down, I'll be back.
Okay, no problem. So I think Ross has got to go and answer the call of nature, folks. That's what he's going to do. So
it's something more important than that, but Gaz can frame it how he likes.
I was going to say I was going to go for the quickening.
There can be only one.
Well, folks, just want to give you a shout out. Thanks everybody for joining us today as well. If anybody has any interesting facts or stories they'd like to share on Highlander, please drop them in the chat and we'll get to them as well. And I thought Ross was back then. I was going to say that was fast. Is there anybody out there that actually enjoys even some of the sequels more than the first one, which would be surprising, but is there? We do have some other films coming up on the schedule. As Ross said, The Vanishing Point is the next one. Any recommendations, again, for things you want us to cover, please drop them in the chat. If you would like us to go through the whole Highlander series, everything right up to Endgame and the horrible post-APOC movie that I haven't seen, which they bring back Duncan MacLeod for, apparently. We could even look at that, the series. So just let us know, folks, and we can do that. And hopefully Ross is back soon, because otherwise I'm just going to keep sitting here repeating myself, like, yay. Also, let's see what's coming up. The Zodiac Files. I do know Ross has been working on the next episode behind the scenes, so that should be coming up soon. And Vanishing Point, of course, is part of Zodiac Goes to the Movies. Given me, I know very little about true crime and Zodiac and all that thing. So, yeah. Pixie, have fun with the gummies as well. You can enjoy yourself there. Shout out to Mr. Belgique as well. Shout out to Edward Cyphers. And let's see who else have we got with us. Anybody out there listening in, watching? It's greatly appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe and support at Planet X Filmworks. And what else have we got? What we can give you an update on? So my probable favorite character, if you haven't guessed, from Megadeth, yeah. Oh man, I haven't listened to their new album yet, but everybody says it's supposed to be pretty good. You ain't having my sick of it all, honey. Pixie, they're one of my favorite bands. Maybe at some point we can get you another. I can get you one for you though, no doubt. But yeah, New York hardcore all day. But yeah, the new Megadeth album's supposed to be pretty sick. Haven't got around to listening to it yet, and the new Creator dropped as well recently. That's also supposed to be pretty tight. So yeah, definitely be all over that. Easy to get me talking on metal and punk, hardcore, and everything. So what else have we got here, folks? That we've got. All right, Ross is back.
Good work, Gazzy. Sorry about that,
Welcome
guys.
back, brother. I've just been monotone, verbal rambling, shouts.
Yeah, I figured you could hand that. You're up my alley, Ed. Hopefully you saw my interview with American Spy Fox, because he has the best Nirvana series on YouTube, and we went in depth on the Kurt.
I like Nirvana too as well, Ed. I was sat here with a Nirvana shirt on a few weeks ago. Pretty much most punk, hardcore, death metal, everything, all of that.
The Kurt M-word conspiracy, but we won't say what it is on this show. Freaking the new Megadeth is actually fire. I had my headphones on, so I heard what you guys.
Yeah, I was saying I've got it, bro. I just haven't listened to it yet, but I've heard nothing.
It's good, man. It's not that long. There's that. So I think I told you there's a Ride the Lightning remix at the end. Or
At
the end, sick. I think they're coming by. Is it late summer or fall? So I'm going to try to catch them. I got Cypress Hill, Tech Nine, Coyote, and Bone Thugs on April 18th. I missed Nine Inch Nails because I was traveling. I was super pissed about that, but it is what it is. It's under my Kurt Cobain M-word conspiracy playlist. The Cobain Files, Volume 1, PXF. Ross G interviews American Spy Fox. I highly advise you to subscribe to American Spy Fox as well, because he drops all the grunge knowledge on there. He had an Alice in Chains series. He had a Nirvana series. I think he was working on a Chris Cornell Soundgarden series. So he really pops off. Do want to get in some more. Hopefully, we'll be doing some more stuff with Charlie at some point. So anyway, I did reach out to Tom Grant. If you guys know who that is, you should. So we'll see how that goes. Try to get him in the Cobain series. Back to Highlander.
We were up to.
It's got that happy ending that you know. Connor is going to go around and fix all the problems of the world. By the same thing I said about the end of the Enter the Dragon in most movies like this, guys. Was this a good thing? Because Connor was decapitating people through thousands and hundreds of years of this movie, killed a guy in the Madison Square Garden parking lot, chopped off the Kurgan's head in a warehouse. Were you feeling good about that happy ending? Because you could make the argument Connor's a serial killer.
yeah, that's a good point.
He killed bad guys. He did kill bad guys. I'll acquiesce that.
Yeah, and I mean it goes. I mean, in the series, I think Duncan MacLeod, played by Adrian Paul, takes out Richie, who's kind of his friend. If I remembered that, it'd been a long time. So
was Richie an immortal or?
Yeah, Richie starts off as just a norm, and then is revealed as becomes an immortal later. But
it's been so long,
super long time since we. I do remember me, you, and Mark talking about the series, and then
how long did it run? Was it 2 seasons, or how long did it run? 3 seasons?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe 4
seasons. I think it ran more than one. I think maybe 2 or 3 or 4. Any fans of the Highlander series? Carry on, guys.
So you could make that argument. I mean, I'm guessing. Okay, I'm going to kind of counter it. That may be the same with him now having all this absolved power and wisdom, and that the spirits of the immortals are now in a better host than Kurgan. Like, he gets this profound sense of clarity, and then his position now is to make amends and try and guide the world and people around him in a 100%. Better direction, better place. Could go with that. Could go with that, I guess.
I could agree with that. I just I was happy he killed the Kurgan, obviously, because he was pure evil, but it was just like, the film was like a little bit of a bloodbath, so it didn't give me like a happy ending feel when we were going through a couple of those acts there, but
it doesn't. I mean, I don't know if anyone's ever, I'll give you an example off topic here of something kind of that I found amusing. It's just popped in my head when you were saying like choppings and things. If anyone's ever read the Raymond D. Feist novels, Magician and all of those, and the Serpent War saga, I haven't got through them all, but I got halfway through the Demon War saga, and I know that there's a scene, Ross, where this guy's father is like on his knees looking up at his son, his eyes, gleaming with pride just before his son chops his head off. It's like a cultural thing to do in there. Yeah. So it doesn't give you them quite the happy vibes.
That's I mean, dude, it's like his mentor died, like all of like the women he dated except for like Brenda died, you know what I mean? So it's just like, okay, yeah, he got the Kurgan, but like this, you kind of have to see.
The thing with Conor,
go ahead. I'll answer the question.
If I would be down for those, especially as they just showed Dream Warriors at the theater, I believe, which has one of the most legendary comedic scenes ever, where the Jar Jar Gabor on the chat show and Freddie appears and says, who gives a F what you think? Absolutely hilarious scene.
Robert Englund is the man. I mean, Mr. B is a horror head. Lauren Lepre is our chief horror correspondent. I do a little bit of Devil's Rejects, little Lou Temple. Shout out to Drew Beeson, but I'm not like huge on Nightmare and Friday the 13th. I think I probably prefer Friday of the two.
Friday, yeah, Jason definitely, but I've seen them all. Belgique and the showed Jason Lives at the theaters recently as well, along with Freddy 3 Dream Warriors, I think it is.
I'm more of a Hellraiser Cenobite guy. You open the box. We came.
Yeah.
Go ahead, guys.
I was going to say with Conor, Ross, I think what is appealing about his character as well is I can see how someone would make the argument for him being a serial killer, but they do show the human element because there's that sadness with him, with Heather, and that continues. Definitely. We see that in Highlander 3 as well. So you always have that. You always feel sorry for Conor because that was kind of like his true love. There's that sadness.
Yeah.
And even in this one, the girl, hey, what up, Greg? The girl he rescues from World War II, Rachel, isn't it? Rachel, who's his adopted daughter. There's that sadness there because he rescued her from the Nazis, and then it's an epic flashback scene.
I was going to bring that up. So he mowed down that Nazi officer.
Yeah, that was sick, bro.
That was like his grind. That was basically like a Sisu scene. That was his grindhouse as it gets. That was mean. I mean, I wasn't saying he was like a serial killer in terms of like a flat out lunatic in the way the Kurgan is, but like
I know what you mean.
More of the facts that all those guys from ancient medieval times from the opposing clan like Fraser were coming back to kill. I mean, he did kill a lot. Let's keep it real. He killed a lot of people. I mean, he was doing it for good in the plot, but he killed a lot of people.
Do you think he could be would make the argument for an anti-hero in a way then?
That's kind of where I was taking it. You know what I mean? Because the whole quickening philosophy. But, mind you, it was kind of forced on him when he was in the Highland clan. He didn't know that he was immortal till he got felled in that battle, right? So it's kind of like, it wasn't like he chose it or like he didn't even know he was one, which I think is an interesting complex. Which one, Greggy? Highlander? It's the GOAT film. It's very grindhouse. So I was they got cast here, Gazzy. I'll just rip through a few, and then if you got stuff you want to jump in on, we'll get you in the mix. Christopher Lambert, Conor MacLeod, a 16th century immortal man born in Glenfinnan, Scotland, near the shores of Loch Shiel. Under the alias Russell Nash, he lives and works as an antique dealer in New York, 85. Sean Connery as Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez, an Egyptian immortal who has lived for centuries in both Japan and later Spain. A highly adept swordsman, he seeks out Conor and insists on taking him on as his pupil to defeat the Kurgan, knowing that he must not win the prize. Clancy Brown is the Kurgan, Conor's nemesis, said to be the last of the Kurgan tribe and a sadistic, murderously brutal barbarian. In 85, he travels to New York under the name Victor Kruger, intending to kill the few remaining immortals and claim the prize. Real quick, before you jump in, guys, I want to say his detachable sword that he puts together from the suitcase. I did watch some special features for you guys, and the director was talking about one of the reasons they designed that was because back then, like, everything was practical. And the dude was like, I can't bring this massive broadsword through the airport, so they needed to break it down like that. So obviously Kurgan has some sick scenes with the sword katas in that motel room, and then the hookers, Candy shows up. Hi, I'm Candy. Of course you are.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Kurgan's interactions with the clerk in the hotel are hilarious, and that guy who's randomly sat there commentating as well.
Yeah, he's like smoking the cigarette. Yeah, dude, he clowns that clerk. That's just so. Hey, I can get you anything you want, man. Blow girls, and then that other dude just like smokes the stogie and laughs in his face. There's some very good grindhouse dark humor there. So here's other actors, guys. You want to take that away?
Yeah, I can. No, you go ahead, man. I'm just verbally.
I'll rip through this and then jump into stuff you learned, and it's not that long, so we could probably get through some of these other sequences. I might skip some things. Looks like there was a novelization, and then we'll come to that reboot for you guys. So, real quick. Other actors in the film include Edward Wiley as Garfield, a slightly unhinged NYPD officer who is correct in suspecting Nash as a possible perp in the homicide of Fasil. Corin Russell as Candy, a prostitute hired by the Kurgan. Jimmy McKenna as Father Rainey. Alistair Fiendglay as NYPD Chief Murdoch. That dude was hilarious, guys.
Yeah.
Ian Reddington as Bassett. Sion Tudor Owen as Hotchkiss. Damian Leake as Tony. Richard Bonehill as Buck, the hotel clerk, Gaz's boy. Gordon Stern as Dr. Kenderly. Professional wrestlers Greg Gagne, Jim Brunzel, Sam Fatu, Michael Hayes, Terry Gordy, Buddy Roberts appear as themselves in the film's opening sequence at a tag team match. The event in the film was supposedly held at Madison Square Garden, but it was actually shot at Brendan Byrne Arena in New Jersey. Criminal of us not to mention the film starts with a wrestling match and Gaz's lane.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, especially as I watch like wrestling 5 times a week. So yeah, that is a huge. The
wrestling opening, Greg's a wrestling head.
yeah, Fatu as well, and Terry Gordon, man.
Yep. Shout out to Pixie on the trailer. Go get your Highlander fix. It's a classic. Did you want to do some of the stuff you learned about those castings, guys?
Yeah, just on the Kurgan, who, if anyone hasn't guessed by now, is pretty mujust my favorite character in the film, which says something about my psychological makeup. But anyway,
he's a sick character.
Yeah, he is. I just think he is. I love this all like brutal kind of fantasy barbarian kind of. Yeah. Again, very Conan, which is awesome. Conan the King, yay! Yeah. So interesting. They were going to cast originally, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was offered the role but turned it down. I think he would have been sick.
I heard that.
Rutger Hauer, he would have been sick. And then this is the one. No, he's an epic actor, but Nick Nolte is the Kurgan.
He always comes up in random stuff. I mean, I love the guy, but he's no Kurgan. I mean, as much as I love Rutger, but I feel like they would only pick him because he has that like Dutch. He's like from the Netherlands, right? So they're just like, hey, this guy's Central Europe. He's a Kurgan. It's like, dude, like, come on, like. A blonde Kurgan, like you really need like a brunette, like grimy Visigoth looking dude from the Caspian, right?
I mean, could you imagine it? Nick Nolte kind of give us this detective, bad cop kind of vibe as the Kurgan. It probably would have been entertaining.
It probably would have been entertaining, but it's no Kurgan. Yeah. Like, hey, I think Roy Batty is one of the best, villains, and you can argue he's not even a villain, but like, you know what I mean? Characters or anti-characters of all time. But I just, even as much as I love Rucker and Hobo and Blade Runner, I just don't see him as the Kurgan.
Also Scott Glenn, Roy Scheider, were also considered for the role.
You think like the wrestlers, they have all those wrestlers in the beginning of the movie. You think they would look at some of those guys for the Kurgan. What's his name? But obviously. Bruiser Bundy, but who's that other big dude that we watched the Dark Side on? The dude that got stabbed in the Puerto Rico terror.
Bruiser Brody.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
help us out with that one, Greg. Lifeline.
Yeah.
But yeah, did you think like some of those big burly wrestler dudes would be a layup for the Kurgan? You know.
And Clancy Brown, it says he was cast after being recommended by Sting, who he'd worked with in the previous movie.
I think I read that as well. I think I heard about that.
And I was just thinking, folks, I mean, this is getting into the reboot territory here, but Batista's going to play the Kurgan, yeah. What I'd like to see, Ross, is some flashbacks of the Kurgan with his brutal tribe, some around them. That we're doing, whether that would be so sick. Something we've never really seen that I know of.
Yeah, the Kurgan's origin.
Yeah, that would be so sick.
Are all the rest of them just as brutal as him, or are some of the leaders like more like tactical? You know what I mean? So I'd like to see that too. The way he rolls up in that first fight with the other clan, like his introduction, is just absolutely iconic.
And I'm curious if they'll depict him again as this kind of anarchic, punk, metal kind of guy with a disregard for everything, or if he's going to be presented differently. So that's I'm curious about.
It's interesting, right? Because is Chad Stahelski going to follow that timeline of medieval to New York? Because a whole nother thing you could do is just the medieval chapter. I mean, that's hundreds of years, right? Before even getting to modern day New York or London. Yeah. Just make the first movie just the medieval chapter. Then you worry about the present day in the second movie. Then maybe do future in the third. You know,
I think this is. Yeah, totally. I think this is one of the few times. Yeah,
focus on each timeline.
100. Yeah, and go through it. Yeah, 100. I think this is one of the few times, Ross, when I'm actually not afraid of a reboot.
Yeah, I mean, you know, as iconic as this is, and like, you know, Christopher Lambert isn't exactly Marlon Brando, as me and Gaz were saying, but you know what I mean? Like, obviously you do have, it's tough because Connery and Clancy are so flawless in this, but and honestly, I wanted to see what else this director directed, Gaz, because I thought he did a really good job in this. But obviously I can't say anything bad about Chad Stahelski because I talk about him 75% of this show, so it's going to be tough for me to criticize the film, guys. And obviously Henry Cavill's dope too. I mean, I actually have an update for you on the 40K.
We're getting that. No, Cavill, I think, well, if you think about it, Cavill could do some really brutal, intense action scenes with this. So
and I think it's coming.
Already a win.
I think it's
already a win.
Yeah.
And what I like with Cavill is he does respect these franchises, which I think you're going to get into in a moment with the 40K announcement. I never moved, Pixie. I'm the same. I'm just here all the time. We were saying
here
this
permanently.
Yeah, we have conveyor belts just to bring us our food from Uber, and there's a bucket. Yeah, buckets under the chair that take care of other things.
So, we don't leave these rooms. That's not. Yeah, no, we can't do that. You have to give the internet what it wants, Pixie. So that's why we're here. All right, I'll jump into some stuff, Gazzy. Writing and development is pretty long, so I might summarize that. Let's see. I think Gazzy already ripped through his casting. So, conception: Gregory Wyden wrote the script for Highlander as a class assignment while he was undergraduate at the screenwriting program at UCLA. And then under the title of Shadow Clan, Wyden drew inspiration from Ridley Scott's 70 film The Duelists. I think that's come up before, guys, and I still haven't seen it, so I definitely want to watch that. I heard it's sick. The Duelists, centering on the brutal, decades-long feud between two swordsmen. After reading the script, Wyden's instructor advised him to send it to an agent. Wyden sold the script for $200,000. It became the first draft of what would eventually be the screenplay for the film. According to Wyden, the idea of the story was basically a combination of a riff on The Duelists. Guy wants to finish a duel over years, and a visit I made both to Scotland and the Tower of London armor display, where I thought, what if you owned all this? What if you wore it all through history and were giving some tour of your life through it? The scene is basically in the movie, looking at all the armor and stuff. I think that's Connor's house. According to William Ponzer, producer of Highlander, the series, and that's where everything fell into place. The idea that there are immortals and they were in conflict with each other, leading secret lives that the rest of us are unaware of. In 2006 interview with Action Elite, Gregory Wyden remarked, "I've always been amazed that a project I wrote as a UCLA student has had this kind of life. I think its appeal is the uniqueness of how the story was told and the fact that it had a heart and a point of view about immortality." Let's see how much we got here, because there's quite a bit on here, so I'm probably going to want to cut some of this stuff down. Writing and development. Wyden's original draft of the script differed significantly from the film. The initial story was darker and more violent. Connor is born in 1408 rather than 1518. He lives with his mother and father and a younger brother. Heather does not exist. Connor is promised to a girl named Mara who rejects him when she learns that he is immortal. Conor willingly leaves his village after his clan's attitude towards him changes. Instead of being banished, his alias is Richard Taupin, and his weapon is a custom broadsword. Ramirez is a Spaniard born in 1100 instead of an ancient Egyptian born more than 2,000 years earlier. The Kurgan is known as the Knight, using the alias Carl William Smith. He's not a savage, but a cold-blooded killer. Brenda is Brenna Cartwright, a historian at the Smithsonian who sometimes helps the police. So looks like a lot of things changed over time, which, happens.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to elaborate on Gaz's casting stuff.
Yeah.
So there's some good stuff here as me and Gaz are Escape from New York, LA, Kurt Russell fanboys, as well as the thing. As the film ready for production, Kurt Russell was cast as Conor MacLeod, beating Michael Douglas, Ed Harris, Sam Shepard, David Keith, Kevin Costner, Scott Glenn, and Sting, who was also considered to provide the soundtrack of the movie. Mickey Rourke, Peter Weller, Mel Gibson, and William Hurt. However, Russell dropped out of the film at the insistence of Goldie Hawn. Arnold Schwarzenegger, like Gaz said, turned it down, too similar to Conan and Terminator. And Scott Glenn and Roy Schneider were the early choices for Kurgan back when he was the Knight in the early draft. Rutger Hauer, Nick Nolte, like Gaz said. Let's see. Somebody else dropped out. I think that Catherine Mary Stewart. Peter O'Toole, Michael Caine, and Gene Hackman were considered for the role of Ramirez.
Well,
I can see some of those,
Yeah. And there's something more on Kurgan, bro. It sounds so sick. This would be a good movie within itself. I'm gonna have to behave myself and wait to drop this.
For sure. Well, you never know what Stelsky might do. Like he might use some of that, or depending on what happens to the Kurgan.
Well,
filming, the budget was put up by Thorn EMI when brought to Russell Mulcahy. The title was The Dark Knight. Filming took place in Scotland, England, Wales, and New York City. Director Russell Mulcahy filmed Highlander using music video techniques, including fast cutting and pacey music. Preparation actor Christopher Lambert spent months working 4 hours each morning with a dialect coach and 4 hours in the afternoon sword training with former Olympic fencer Bob Anderson, who had been a Darth Vader stunt double in the Star Wars franchise. On filming a scene underwater in a Scottish loch, Lambert said, "The first time it's a surprise. I thought the water would be cold, but not that cold. The second time, it's going to be freezing. The third time you turn away, you say, that's the last take you're doing." Director of photography Arthur Smith actually filmed the scene in which fish fall out of MacLeod's kilt, but Lambert's kilt proved to be too short. Smith said, "I stuck part of a drain pipe above Chris's kilt out of camera range and fed live trout down the tube." I remember that scene, guys. That's crazy, man. Practical effects, baby, man. The magic has been lost. I'll let you guys catch up on Wiki. We're to keep it moving. There were a number of alternate and deleted scenes that were cut from the film and ended up being destroyed in a fire. Among these included a duel between the Kurgan and an Asian immortal named Young Dol Kim, played by Sumar Khan. The fight takes place in an office building where the Kurgan uses brute force against Kim. The Kurgan says to him that he fights like a woman, to which Kim responds by dropping his swords and falling to his knees. Kurgan tells him to pick up the swords and fight, but Kim tells him that he's tired after 400 years wanting peace and death. The Kurgan agrees and beheads him. According to Jonathan Melvin's book, A Kind of Magic, Making the Original Highlander, British-Chinese actor David Yip was originally cast as Kim, but was replaced before shooting started. A scene where Conor and Castigier are at a nightclub for one last night of fun. They are then joined by Detective Bedso. I mean, that doesn't sound like a great scene. A bedroom scene set after the sex scene where Conor shows Brenda his katana in more ways than one, Gaz. The final scene
He's pretty sharp and ready.
The final scene between Conor and Rachel before he goes to face the Kurgan was much longer. A scene set after Conor's showdown with the Kurgan had Rachel burning down Conor's antique store and home. Morin arrives to tell her about the killing. Morin sees a silver picture frame she is holding of her when she was a child and Conor. Morin is confused about the picture, and then Rachel takes his arm and asks him if she would have coffee with her, which he accepts, and the two leave with Rachel telling him that she would explain everything. A scene where 3 UPS men arrive at Bedso's home to deliver Conor's fish tank. I don't think that was a big loss.
No,
I mean, there's a lot of fight scenes. I don't know if it sucks they had the fire and lost stuff, but I mean, I don't know if we needed every one of those, you know.
I've got to share this, man. Talk about right. Some more on the Kurgan. Apparently, I've got to get a hold of this. Highlander, the Way of the Sword, published by Dynamite Entertainment, further expands on Kurgan's life and gives him more encounters with Connor. So I'm just going to read this little part, which I know is going to make
quick
Ross
question.
Fun. Yeah.
What is the medium? Is that a comic or a
comic?
Novel?
Comic, graphic novel. Listen to this, man. This would make a good film itself. All I'm going to read is this part. In 476 BCE, allying himself with the Persians as part of a special fighting unit, Kurgan took part in the Battle of Plataea in ancient Greece. During the battle, he faced off with a Spartan warrior who wielded a katana made by the master swordsmith Masamune, strong enough to shatter Kurgan's blade. I'm going to read the rest of it. That has got me already. That's hooked.
That's absolutely awesome. I don't know why a Spartan would be using a katana, but still sick. And I can.
I'll take part. Expand on that in the story, couldn't they?
Yeah. Or is that the same katana Ramirez had, or is that the same?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Blacksmith. Yeah. For sure. Dope. Absolutely epic. Or what I was saying about the Keep. Animate that. Animated one-off or animated series, and then if Batista's not using his voice, you use Clancy's. Soundtrack: the Highlander original orchestral score was composed by Michael Kamen. The British rock band Marillion turned down the chance to record the soundtrack because they were on a world tour, a missed opportunity, which guitarist Steve Rothery later said he regretted. The band's Scottish lead singer Fish had also accepted a part in the film, but pulled out because of the scheduling conflict. David Bowie, Sting, Duran Duran were considered to do the soundtrack for the film. I could do Bowie. Sting's okay. The eventual soundtrack includes several songs by Queen. The Highlander television title sequence, obviously Princes of the Universe. Brian May was inspired to write Who Wants to Live Forever after watching the love scenes between Connor and his wife Heather, and the song ultimately accompanied the film. I don't know who Brian May is. Sounds maybe more up your alley, guys, with the romance songs.
Brian May.
Yeah.
Part of Queen, bro.
Oh, you said Queen? No, it's my bad. Fumble. I fumbled the bag. The 1995 CD Highlander. The original scores includes 5 cues from Kamen's Highlander score, along with 7 cues from Stuart Copeland's Highlander 2 score and 4 cues from J. Peterson Robertson's Highlander 3 score. Furthermore, a rearrangement of an excerpt from Kamen's score, specifically the beginning track of The Quickening, was eventually used as a logo music for New Line Cinema's ident between 94 and 2011. Let's do the release. Highlander premiered at the Avioraz Fantasy Film Festival January 86 as the non-competitive closing film. It opened in LA on March 7th, 86. The film had a 116-minute running time in the UK, 111-minute running time in the States. Roughly 8 minutes of footage was cut from the film for its US theatrical release. Most of the cuts were sequences involving a specifically European brand of humor, which the distributors thought American audience would not find funny, such as Connor being repeatedly headbutted by one of his clansmen, the duelist shooting his assistant, and the Kurgan licking the priest's hand. The cut Mulcahy found most objectionable was the deletion of the scene showing how Connor met Rachel, because he could see no reason for its removal and believed that the relationship between Connor and Rachel was incomprehensible without it. I mean, yeah, that does sound like a very dumb-ass studio
it does. Very much
edit,
so.
but that's what they do. Like, Highlander, I don't understand this movie anyway. Like, okay, cool. Well, you're the ones who spent $20 million on it. Home media, VHS back in 86. Highlander was first released to DVD in the US in 97. 10th anniversary edition director's cut that contained the international uncut version. A 15th anniversary edition was released in Australia in 01. Released in 2002 in special Immortal edition. Several extra features, including 3 Queen music videos and a bonus CD with 3 Queen tracks. Looks like there's a couple other versions. An ultimate release of the movie was re-released in France and Europe on April 10th, 2012. In 2022, Studio Canal released a 4K and Blu-ray double disc set in the UK on October 31. November 22 in France. The 4K disc contained new special features such as a featurette on the soundtrack, to interview with photographer David James, a featurette with Clancy Brown. I did watch that, guys. It was dope. A look back on the magic of Highlander, and a new audio commentary by author John Melville, as well as the original commentary by director Mulcahy and producers Ponzer and Davis, whereas the Blu-ray disc contained the original Blu-ray releases extras. Reception, you guys can figure that on your own. Legacy, there was a novelization of the film written by Gary Kilworth under the pen name Gary Douglas. It expanded the events of the first movie by revealing details such as Heather finding out about Connor's immortality from Ramirez, the Kurgan's first death. Ooh, that would be sick, guys. And the villain's training with an Arabian immortal known as...
Oh, that would have been so dope.
Bedouin, who he eventually kills. The novel depicts the Kurgan battling and defeating an immortal Mongol warrior before meeting MacLeod in 1536. Another scene reveals how he acquires his customized longsword. Yeah, you might want to read that, guys. Sounds like
I think I do. Yeah,
some more Kurgan origin, as we were saying. The book expands the ending following Connor's last battle with the Kurgan. He returns to his antique shop to say a final goodbye to Rachel before leaving for Scotland. Once there, he and Brenda toured the country for 2 months and then opened an antique shop in Camden Alley. On one occasion, Connor returns to the Scottish uplands alone and stares at the remnants of his home with Rachel. There is no croft there, but he finds a few stones from the fallen tour and locates the burial plates of Ramirez and Heather. Finding 2 timbers and fashioning a crude cross, Connor tells Heather that she would like Brenda because she is much like you. Sequels! The film was followed by 2 direct sequels. Highlander 2, The Quickening, was released in 91 and met with an overall negative response, with some considering it among the worst films ever made. Highlander 3, The Sorcerer, also known as Highlander The Final Dimension, was released in 94 and retroactively erased the canon of Highlander 2, acting as an alternate sequel to the first film. The movies Highlander Endgame 2000 and Highlander The Source 2007. The Source is the source of all shite in the film universe. I have seen it several times. Yeah, hey, what up, Rick? Highlander's a classic, mate. Just don't watch The Source if you like the early sequels, and you'll be safe. Just consider that a Paradigm Review show warning. The Source follow the continuity of the TV show Highlander the series. Both movies received negative reviews from fans of both the original film and TV show. The animated movie Highlander: The Search for Vengeance, which existed in its own continuity of protagonist Colin MacLeod, received law. Yeah, that one was sick. Let's do the series, and then we're down to the reboot. Christopher Lambert was offered a chance to return as Connor in a TV series. Lambert turned down the role, so the series became a spin-off, introducing a new character, Duncan MacLeod, portrayed by Adrian Paul. Highlander series began airing on television in 92, with Lambert appearing as Connor in the first episode. The series explains Duncan is a man born decades after Connor's banishment and adopted by the clan MacLeod. After Duncan discovered he's immortal, Connor finds him and trains him before going a separate way. The series 2 premiere episode, The Watchers, confirms Connor's battle with the Kurgan still happened in 85 in the canon of the show, but the prize was not won because there were still several living immortals in this version of events. Yeah, I was wondering about that, guys. Including Duncan. Good.
Well, it's a case of, again, like we said, with the lack of security regarding, in that we saw in Invasion USA. Maybe those immortals just had that weekend off again, Ross. So there was no computer.
There's no computers back then.
The
there's no computers back then, guys. So
no GPS either.
Yo, Lambert did not appear in any other episode, but he and Duncan meet again in the movie Highlander Endgame, and that movie is actually pretty sick. Highlander, the animated series, aired from 94 to 96, a loose science fiction adaptation and sequel to the original film. The series imagines a meteorite causing an apocalypse on Earth. In the wake of this, Conor MacLeod is one of several immortals who decides to help preserve knowledge for humanity rather than continue their war for the prize, though he is then killed by Corton, the one remaining evil immortal. Taking place in the 27th century, the series features the young immortal hero Quentin MacLeod, last descendant of the MacLeod clan. He is trained by another immortal named Don Vicente Marinez Ramirez, an old friend of Connor's. I want to check that out because I kind of vaguely remember like the animated intro, but I don't remember anything about it. Crips, Rick, I've been thinking. There's she shared it for you there, Ricky. Reboot. In March 2008, Summit Entertainment announced that it had bought the film rights to Highlander and was remaking the original film. Kevin McKidd was rumored to have been offered the role of MacLeod. Chad Stahelski was announced as a new director of the reboot, which has been described to be John Wick with swords, with the reboot planned as a possible trilogy, like I was telling you guys. As of May 2020, the filming for the remake had not begun yet. So you mean to tell me that pre-production started in 2008 and it's 2026 and like they're just shooting now? That is an insane delay.
Yeah.
Drop a like for Pixie. Drop some likes for Pixie. All right, here we go, guys. Kit Harington, James McAvoy, Robert Patterson, Stephen Amell, Sam Hugan, Charlie Hunnam were rumored to be in the running for the role of Conor MacLeod. Ryan Reynolds was cast in 2012 but dropped out the following year. Like, what the hell was Ryan Reynolds going to do with a freaking Conor MacLeod role? Like, I love the guy. Deadpool is awesome, but his, like, Vancouver British-Canadian accent is a far cry from Scottish. What was he going to do, a bootleg accent?
Well, it couldn't be much worse, to be honest, than the accents in the originals. So they could have gone for that.
Yeah, but you can't stand Reynolds, right? So that would have grinded your gears.
No, I don't mind him now. Actually, well, it's not Reynolds. It's the Deadpool character. Yeah.
Okay, so you don't mind Reynolds, but Deadpool is just too far for you. Gotcha. So in May 2021, Henry Cavill was confirmed to play the lead role, although his exact character was unknown. In October 23, Lionsgate was moving forward with a reboot, with Cavill starring as MacLeod, Stahelski directing from a screenplay by Mike Finch. Michael Fassbender was rumored to be in the running for a villain role. Stahelski has confirmed that music by Queen will be used in the reboot. On June 2025, Russell Crowe was announced to have joined the film as Ramirez. Dave Bautista has been cast as the Kurgan. Karen Gilgan has been cast as Heather MacLeod. WWE wrestler and Scottish-born Drew McIntyre has been cast as Angus MacLeod. Let's go! You know what? He wasn't bad.
No, WWE sucks.
No, WWP is, but he wasn't that bad in that movie where he teamed up with Scott Adkins when they were the two brothers. I think it was.
There's just I remember Drew in TNA before he went to
I feel you. So that's it, guys. Thoughts on the Highlander reboot? Chad Stahelski of John Wick series fame. Sounds. I like Crow. I didn't get to see Nuremberg yet, guys, but I think it's on streaming. Net shits and such. So I need to check out Nuremberg. I like Crow. Like Stahelski. Like Cavill. Pretty much like all those. Obviously, Bautista for the Kurgan. I like all those castings. So pretty sick.
Saying that though, Ryan Reynolds, I was just thinking here, because I don't mind Ryan Reynolds. It's just the Deadpool. I don't like kind of the some of the Marvel cheese humor. I know I say a disclaimer. I know Spider-Man's in the background. I know that I like Spider-Man. Blah blah blah. I have some of that. Just contradicted myself 500 million times, but yeah, whatever. Saying that, do you think Reynolds could have done this maniacal kind of Psycho Joker-esque character with that humor, I guess, but a bit more with it? Possibly.
Well, I mean, they were talking about him as Connor, so you're talking about him as
Oh, God, Sorry, I just had a mental evaporation there.
I think you could get him in the... So, I mean, if they're going to go the route of, like, all these other Immortals meeting up in New York for the Gathering, I'd throw him in in there as an Immortal.
Yeah, it's Connor, maybe.
I would have him be like a North... Yeah, no, right, that makes no sense. I would have him be like a North American one. He's from Vancouver, so either a Canadian dude or I guess an American, What are both of my favorite parts of the movie? What's yours, guys?
I've got a few. The pistol duel between a very posh gents and the way kind of the butler guy runs off before his lord shoots him. Utterly over the top, very camp, hilarious. The Kurgan driving the Nana around in the car, hilarious. The interrogation scene with Connor and the cops, absolutely legendary, hilarious. So on the comedic part, those, and then the end fight with the Kurgan. The Kurgan is my favorite character in this film.
Honestly,
no, I was done, man. I was just going to say that last year.
I really like that first battle with Connor and the Kurgan. Kurgan's introduction probably has the most impact of him riding it. That gives like Braveheart vibes of the old Highland fights. So I like the whole medieval sequence. Ramirez training Connor, and then obviously the fight. It's like impossible to like reference this movie without saying that final fight on the rooftop. them rolling through the skylight window and crashing into the warehouse, and then finally it's a long fight, it's a good fight, but it's also like difficult to reconcile. Does it make sense that Conor like outmaneuvers Kurgan, because Kurgan has had like no flaws in the fights throughout the
Kurgan's a much better warrior. He's
so Conor would have needed to do, well, I guess it was Heather or someone ran in right and distracted Kurgan, and that's how Conor got the drop on him. So I mean, he did although Kurgan did get his throat cut by Ramirez, so pretty grimy. What about you, Rick? Do you have a favorite scene? I think if with that, guys, I was not expecting this show to pop off. I didn't think you guys would go that crazy for Highlander, but it's all good though. We're not mad. I think we could do our ratings.
Yeah.
You guys know me. I'm a bit of a Grindhouse fanboy, so it's going to be high. I also want to point out that you can watch this on Prime. You can watch this for free on Tubi. So while you're on Tubi, go give us a like and a drop on Camera X. It has 7.0 out of 10 on IMDb, almost 160,000 reviews. I mean, still, when it came out, it did terrible, guys. I mean, literally, the critics. What are the critics going to do with this movie? It's immortals beheading each other and just like the ridiculous comedy things. Like it's just
it's where like yay.
Siskel and Ebert were like, "What the hell did I just watch?" You know what I mean? But me and Gaz were like, "Oh yeah, check it out. It's a 10." You know, so 7 out of 10. I gave it a 9 out of 10. So I'm a fanboy of this one. I mean, I'll give The Quickening another run. I don't care, and I'll watch Final Dimension. I'll go all in. Endgame was sick to me.
Yeah, all I can remember in The Quickening, it's been so long. I know me, you, and Mac used to talk about the series, The Quickening 3, all of these movies quite a lot. And I do remember, I can see this image in my head now, Ross, of when I think Conor is awakened by the villain Immortal, because, spoiler alert, folks, there two kind of alludes to, well, it changes, well, it adds up they're from a planet beginning... Mm-hmm. with the Z, from what I can remember, I think. And it kind of explains the quickening, and then Conor's awoken, and there's this scene, Ross, where it's kind of Blade Runner-esque, because it's like very post-apoc-y.
Cyberpunk.
And I think Conor's dueling the villain and some people in the alleyway. That's why I was wondering, is this one of the few times he fights more than one opponent? Because I think there's the villain.
I know what you're talking about now. There's some wasn't one dude like flying around or whatever.
And you can see, I mean, you probably could see the wires now, but Edgy the Man, Mad Max. Well, you're talking to the right people, man. We did Furiosa. Fury Road is on PXF Classics. Mad Max 2, of course.
Absolutely, we got Fury Road coming up soon.
Yeah.
We got Fury coming up soon in May. Look, if you're noticing things about Mel Gibson, that is between you and Mel, Pixie. You leave me out of that. Out of that. If you want to bring Gaz in on it, that's between you three.
I think Pixie's probably one of the best freelance opticians in the world. You know, for noticing things.
Yeah, definitely
as well. Keen observer.
Well, you didn't say anything about the romance scenes with Christopher Lambert. Was he not hot enough for you in this movie, Pixie? So I'm a 9 out of 10. Where were you at, Gazzy?
Yeah, I'm the same, man. I'm at 9. I know I can see how people would say, look, they would look at it and say, look, this is cheesy as hell. There's some terrible accents, but it's just it's entertainment. It's a really entertaining movie. I love the fantasy sci-fi elements, Ross. It's mad cool. I mean, there's Immortals dueling that have been around for centuries. Bro, I'm sold. That's it. I'm sold.
Yeah, so sick. Just a lot. Yeah. I really like also like, Endgame. I also like the fact of like going from ancient to present day to future in the later sequels, which is like after Final Dimension and the Quickening and Endgame.
Who's that? I've always talked about it, and I need to get around to reading it, because somebody said they could make a good movie of this. And is it? Oh man, who's that? That comic book character, bro? Is it on Dark Horse? Is it by Dark Horse or something? That ancient warrior. I don't know if it's a Stone Age warrior or something, who's kidnapped by some aliens, taking the future, and then becomes like this really powerful super soldier kind of guy. It's always sounded incredible
Man
concept.
Of War?
Man of War, yeah, that's it.
I think that's Valley.
Is it Valiant then?
Yeah, I think it's Valiant. I think it's the same as
that.
Bloodshot. I think it's the same as Bloodshot. Yeah, that sounds like Man of War.
But 9 out of 10. Just good story, good characters.
Holy shit! Everybody stop! Everybody stop! You finally got an angle on Pixie, guys. Get her! You finally, Gaz's revenge. He's finally gonna get her back. Get her, guys. Get her.
There was something else that I got you with recently, which I've forgotten. So that's in your favor. Not like I've ever forgot what I'm doing before. So you've not seen Highlander, yet you like crappy Reservoir Dogs with 4 guys stood in a room for like 900 hours talking about a crime they've done in a heist that we never see. Well, there's some guy listening to music in his crap car from the most
70s.
Overrated decade in history.
Hey, Billy, sounds of the 70s. It's really good.
Reservoir, but no,
another
it's
9.
Not. It's not.
Another 9.
Fight, Pixie, you're fired. I'm not giving you my hoodie. I was going to be nice. He was going to
ship it to you, Pixie. You're going to get a whole new hoodie. It's probably a triple XL. I don't know if it would have fit you, Pixie, but it's all good. All right, guys. That'll do it. That show got way more out of control than I thought it was going to. Next week, we have Zodiac Goes to the Movies, The Vanishing Point, ZodiacCyphers.com. Shout out to Richard Brunel of Coventry.
Yeah, we'll try to stay on point for that.
Yeah, we'll try. I'll be a little more pro, given it won't be a pop-up, it won't be a resked, and I'll be back on my true crime bag. Then followed by The Hunted, PXF Classic, Benicio del Toro, Tom Lee Jones. Me and Gaz are a couple Hunted fanboys.
Here's a quick question for people before we go out. So then, is there another film that you feel that has a soundtrack that actually really strengthens and supports the story and characters? Because this has just got. I'm struggling to think if there's any others. You know, there's films with legendary soundtracks, Ross, and legendary scores, but where this actually supports the characters and story, it is an integral part of it.
If I'm not mistaken, isn't one of the Queen videos like them in New York with like Highlander stuff going on in the background? Like I think probably one of those music videos that is on the special editions or something. So and then plus it might even be Princes of the Universe, but plus Princes of the Universe, I think the difference is here. This is one of those situations where, like in Tron 2, how you have the Daft Punk robots like playing in the scene.
Yes,
whereas the Queen music is kind of in the Highlander universe. So it's very hard for me to picture like Sting is good. I don't want to crap on him too much. I love his role in original Dune, but I don't know if anyone else's music would have flawlessly been embraced inside the universe the way Queen's was. Princes of the Universe theme being used for the series. You see what I'm getting at? Like it really crossed over. Whereas like that even like Nin in Tron Ares, like it's really hard to do that where the music becomes part of the film.
Yeah. Rick, reach out, let us know what you want to do, and we'll get something worked out. We'll break bread with you, and we'll get it set up, man.
Well, check out Fury Road. We don't have any of the original Mad Maxes on the schedule right now, but I'm a ridiculous Mad Max trilogy.
I'm not going to say no Mad Max.
Me and Gaz are lunatics in that universe. So, and then I can, if you want me to go crazy on the pre-prep, I'll get all the prequel comics and the freaking
we even found things to enjoy in Furiosa, which isn't that great. But I mean, hell, they've got a guy.
The universe is sick.
Yeah, they've got a guy who essentially, what was it, call him like, he was like the Bruce Campbell kind of sensei. Evil Dead Sensei man in the truck guide in Furiosa.
The history, man. So we'll figure it out, guys. George Miller, Mad Max, whatever you guys want. Not too much coming up after Vanishing Point and The Hunted. I'll tell you guys what. When we come back in April, we got Where the Eagles Dare from Gaz, The Raid Redemption, which we'll try to get you guys up on the recent raid news. They've just been talking about the same thing for 20 years. I wouldn't call it news. We had an open slot on the 18th, so we're probably going to fill that in with, we're figuring that out. We'll probably do a poll and let you guys pick either the Peaky Blinders solo film, The Immortal Man, Thing Expanded will be out by then, and then I think the other one we were going to do was Normal. Bob Odenkirk versus Yakuza guys in the U.S. So one of those three will let you guys vote on it. It's not just eminently watchable. It's just one of the best pieces. Honestly, I really like Thunderdome. I know that one gets ripped on like it's like the bad one. I don't see that. I don't see Thunderdome being the whack Mad Max movie,
The first half of Thunderdome is fine. then the second half is
tapers
what
off
lets
with
it
the
down.
pacing.
The original trilogy, Mad Max 2, always the way it opens and closes.
Yeah, I know,
been
Road Warrior.
To death by so many bands for good reason. But the second is just, oh man, it's legendary. And Fury Road, which I absolutely love for
Fury Road's insane. So we have that coming up May 16th. Before that, Hobo with a Shotgun, and then after that, Fear and Loathing, all PXF classics. And then after we let you guys vote on that poll, we're going to do No Escape. Rest in peace, Ray Liotta, one of the GOATs. So that's what's coming up, guys. Like, sub, and share. Click join for a membership. Contact me if you send a donation. So far, I have everybody's name that will be in the credits of Zodiac Files main series, Episode 5, the Lake Herman Road Ambush, and Episode 6, the Blue Rock Springs Attack. And some big news coming out, like Gaz says, once we start rolling out some of that stuff. So, Thunderdome! Welcome to Bata Town. All right.
I think Pixie's wet herself.
yeah. This show got a little bit out of control, Pixie. It wasn't my fault. Never is. I just work here. I'm just the host here. Listen, none of this can be blamed on me.
we do always have kind of a serious plan. And then things just kind of develop.
Yeah, just spirals, and that's the whole thing. That's part of Paradigm Review Show. Shout out to Pixie for the links and for how long she's been a member. Go over to the Patreon at some point when I feel like it. I'll do some Most Dangerous Game for you guys. I still have like some ridiculous ones like Deadliest Prey and the Most Dangerous Game 2022 remake. Haven't watched them.
Shout out whilst we're on that, Avenging Force, Armor Room, Highlander-esque, same year as well.
Yeah. Nice one. Yeah. Nice one. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right, guys, that's that. Come like, sub, share, sub Gaz over at Mosh Shinobi. If you have a Twitch, even if you don't use it, no, we're all trying to recover. It was extreme. It was an extreme moment. Twitch.tv/Planet X Games. I'm going to have John Carpenter's Toxic Avenger in there. We're going to have the He-Man beat him up there. We're going to have Toxic Crusaders on there when it drops. I don't think there's too much else going on PXG gaming side. But, guys, come rock with us for Zodiac Goes to the Movies. Next week, we'll get back on some true crime, and hopefully I'll have some big updates coming for you soon. Anything else channel-wise or content-wise, just hit me up. Shout out to Lou Temple. Showed you guys what I got at RocketCon, so I think that's everything for this. Go stream Highlander on Tubi. Go stream Camera X on Tubi. Go get yourself a
just
4K.
Reduce magic.
Damn! Where'd it go? How did he do that? Go get yourself a 4K Blu-ray. That's up to you, brother. Whatever you need, Ricky. We got you, my friend. It's all good. And you know what I mean? Just reach out to me if you need any details, brother. There's you can. I think there's 2 tiers on Patreon if you prefer that, and then there's three tiers here on YouTube. So whichever you prefer, brother. If you want to just send me a one-off to get your name in the credits of episode 5 and 6, PayPal, whatever. Just get at me, bro. Ross McLeod signing out. There can be only one. The quickening is coming, guys. Me and Gaz got to go for the prize. Join us next week. The Vanishing Point. We're out.